The Classroom of the Elite anime is bad. There's no two ways about it. It's not a good anime with a better source material. It's not an average show with a few highlights. It's a bad show. And I don't throw that word around lightly. The anime adaptation is the reason why this title is a laughingstock. No one over the mental age of 12 takes this title seriously because of this godforsaken adaptation. Join me as I explain, in no uncertain terms, why the anime is a poor representation of the source material and deserves a position on the Mount Rushmore of bad adaptations alongside the likes of Tokyo Ghoul and TPN Season 2. Make sure to subscribe. So, I made a video about this topic a while back, but since a lot of you are new to the channel, let's start from the beginning and work our way up to the newest season. The biggest issue with this adaptation is its mishandling of Ayanokoji as a character. Now, I don't have a problem with an adaptation switching things around or removing or adding minor stuff. I've praised shows like Attack on Titan and Jujutsu Kaisen for doing just that. But when these changes adversely affect the main character, we need to put our foot down. Ayanokoji is not edgy. He's not intentionally manipulative, and he as a character is extremely flawed. That's of course according to the light novel. According to the anime, he's just an introverted version of Andrew Tate. Classroom of the Elite Season 1 is a textbook example of how subtle changes can have massive consequences, negative ones in this case. That final scene from Season 1 is the biggest culprit. Yup, that one. That scene is single-handedly responsible for skewing people's perception of Ayanokoji. But the thing is, that's not an anime original scene. Ayano said those exact words in the light novel. The difference is the context and presentation. In the novels, Ayano said those things while the special exam was still ongoing. Winning seemed
to imply
the outcome of the exam. The presentation made Ayano come off as secretly competitive, not secretly 12 years old. Also, the fact that this scene was the last we saw of him for several years made it even worse. This seemed to be the final takeaway. They went as far as to add a white room scene for that added edge. Yes, Ayano does think this way. He does look at others as tools, for reasons I'll get into in just a second, but the anime presents it as something that should be glorified, which is not the case, both in general and according to the story. Here's a brief Ayanokoji character analysis. I promise I won't use any big words. Ayanokoji's Machiavellianism. Basically, Ayano was raised in an environment where winning and being superior to the rest was all that mattered. Using everything and everyone at your disposal to win is second nature to him. But why use those godlike abilities to rule over a f***ing high school? He could have accomplished that exact same thing by being good at sports or academics, which he is, but he decided to hide his true abilities. In reality, Ayano ran away from the White Room and enrolled at ANHS against his father's wishes because of several reasons. He wanted to explore what the outside world was like. He was going through a rebellious phase, and most importantly, he wanted to prove his father wrong. Ayanokoji, unlike his father, believes in other people and their merit, and as such, doesn't believe in his own superiority. But deep down, he knows he's superior because he is. And if you think that makes him a hypocrite, you'd be correct. He forces himself to be normal, going as far as to wear an ordinary mask. But said mask eventually cracks as he is forced to use his superiority. This is one of the many internal conflicts that plague Ayano's mind. Despite his way of thinking, he can't quite grasp the value of human life and feelings. Not because he's so dark and cool, but rather because he was raised in a barbaric environment that wasn't exactly conducive to personality development. Ayano isn't satisfied by who he is. He constantly downplays his abilities and internally refers to himself as defective, foolish, and horrible. The way I see it, he wants to change, but at the same time, he has no idea what he should change into. On the bright side, he is making progress. He is attempting to understand human emotion. There's this incredible moment, which I won't spoil, where he basically admits that a part of him wants to find people he can treasure, not as useful tools, but rather as fellow people. That is Ayanokoji's development, the exact opposite of what you would normally see in a story. His growth is all about becoming less perfect. Maybe, somewhere down the line, he'd be able to trust people and find genuine connections. All we can do is pray. If you know, you know. Now, dear anime-only fan, how much of that depth could you gather from the anime? Exactly. The anime makes no attempt to explore these subtleties and conflicts. It presents Ayano as this stoic, perfect being without highlighting his mental dilemma. If an adaptation refuses to explore the main idea of the story, it's a bad adaptation. No amount of deep quotes can change that fact. I don't know if it's because the producers are scared that the anime won't make as much if they lean into these aspects, or it's just the team not caring all that much, but either way, it's a major problem. However, it's not the only one. The anime isn't good, just in general, especially the latter seasons. The direction feels uninspired, the animation is stiff and occasionally non-existent, and the overall presentation is very average. Minus that final fight, Season 2 was hard to sit through. I know I spent a lot of time gobbling on the light novel's metaphorical penis, but I have to admit, the light novel isn't perfect either. It has issues, and these issues are magnified in the anime. The novels suffer from these constant, complicated, and often convoluted special exams. The story throws rule after rule at you and expects you to keep up. This makes the story feel slow and boring, and as a general rule of thumb, a boring section of the source material being adapted in a one-to-one manner will make the anime feel even more dull. This is because you can rush through the text in the novels, but you have to sit through the dialogue in the anime. It's boring. Classroom of the Elite, more like stuff happens and Ayanokoji gives a deadpan stare of the Elite. I know how badly most productions struggle behind the scenes, but come on, give us something. Although, credit where credit's due, that fight from Season 2 looked amazing. The entire thing was rotoscoped, and the choreography and lighting looked insane. Arguably the only great scene across all 3 seasons. I know I'm being quite negative, but it's not my fault. While writing the script, I tried to list all the good things about the anime in an attempt to be more nuanced, but I genuinely couldn't come up with anything besides that one fight. It's a shame, it really is. The light novel is so unique, but most people won't take this title seriously because of the anime. Also, if you plan on reading the novels, please start from the beginning and try to forget everything you know about the story. And that just about does it. I know I came off as an obnoxious light novel fan who complains about everything, but I had to talk about it. That's about it. Did you like this video? Check out this other bit of content on screen if you did. Make sure to like and subscribe. And until next time.